Ferrari's preseason testing for 2024 has left a lot of fans excited, and for good reason. The updates they've made to the car seem promising, and the team is more optimistic than ever. However, with major changes ahead, especially with the drivers lineup for 2025, there are some serious challenges on the horizon. Without the help of Charles Leclerc in 2025, can they find the right setup to get the most out of the car? Leclerc himself has made it clear that he won't be fully committed to the 2024 season, so there's a lot of uncertainty about how things will unfold. The real question remains, will all these adjustments and updates be enough to help Ferrari close the gap on Red Bull? Will they be able to consistently fight for victories like they did at the beginning of 2022, or will they fall short once again? Last season, Ferrari faced a number of issues, especially with tire wear during races. Their qualifying pace was often impressive, with Leclerc snatching pole positions from Max Verstappen on a few occasions. But when race day arrived, the SF24 seemed to lose its edge, and Ferrari was often swallowed up by the rest of the grid. The potential they showed in qualifying didn't translate into race results. This was one of their biggest struggles in 2023. According to team principal Frederic Vasseur, however, this problem has been addressed with the new car. The tire management is said to be on a completely different level now, with Vasseur stating that the long-run tire degradation is on another planet compared to last year. The consistency in race pace has also been improved, which is a step in the right direction. But of course, there's more to it than just managing tires. Ferrari also needs to be faster. They're still in the process of fine-tuning their setup, and there's a lot of work ahead. Vasseur knows that it's important to take the preseason testing results with a grain of salt. After all, the tests don't always show the full picture, especially when teams are focused on gathering data rather than pushing for lap times. In fact, Ferrari's fastest times during testing were set with the team not even using the softest tire compounds. But despite that, when we look at the overall performance of the team during testing, Ferrari's improvements are clear. Compared to last year's preseason testing, Ferrari has made impressive strides. They're now one of the most improved teams, clocking in an impressive gain of 1.13 seconds. This puts them right behind McLaren and Williams, who have also shown considerable progress. Vasseur is hopeful that this improvement will carry over into the season and allow Ferrari to be a serious contender, not just for podiums but for race wins. Leclerc has also expressed confidence in the new car, noting that it feels healthier and reacts better than last year's model. He mentioned that the car is behaving exactly as they wanted, which is a good sign. The team has put in a lot of effort over the winter, and it seems like it's paying off. Still, Ferrari is holding back a bit, not showing all of their cards just yet. There's a lot more performance hidden in the car, and they plan to unleash it during the opening race in Bahrain. As we approach the start of the season, it's clear that Ferrari has made some solid progress. Their performance in Bahrain testing gave us a glimpse of just how far they've come. Compared to teams like Mercedes, McLaren, and Aston Martin, Ferrari appears to have the upper hand, at least for now. They've addressed a major issue with tire degradation, something that plagued them last season, and it seems like they're going to be a lot more competitive in race conditions. But the competition is fierce. Mercedes, McLaren, and Aston Martin all look like strong contenders, and any of them could challenge Ferrari on race day. It's not just about the fastest lap anymore, it's about consistency and performance across an entire weekend. Ferrari's biggest concern remains how they will perform when it matters most on Sunday, during the race. On top of that, there's the issue of driver performance. Leclerc is going to be under a lot of pressure to deliver results, especially given that he'll be partnering with a new teammate in 2025. As it stands, Ferrari will have one of the most talented lineups in Formula One, and that could make or break their 2024 campaign. Leclerc knows that he'll need to push himself to the limit if he's going to challenge Verstappen and Red Bull for race victories. Looking at individual driver performances, it's clear that Ferrari's biggest challenge will come from Max Verstappen and Red Bull. In testing, Leclerc seemed to be on pace with the fastest drivers, and his time on the C4 tires showed just how competitive the SF24 can be. On the other hand, Sergio Perez, despite running on the C3 tire compound, wasn't able to match Leclerc's times. This could be a sign that Ferrari has made significant improvements in both pace and tire management. However, while these results are promising, they don't necessarily tell us who the fastest team is. Testing only gives us part of the story. But if we look at the bigger picture, it's clear that Ferrari is in a much stronger position than they were last year. The improvements in the car, combined with better tire management and consistency, should give them a good shot at challenging Red Bull, but it's still a huge mountain to climb. One of the key factors will be how Ferrari handles the upcoming season with Carlos Sainz. Sainz has openly talked about his uncertain future, and with the changes coming in 2025, he knows that 2024 could be his final season at Ferrari. His situation adds a layer of complexity as team dynamics will shift with the new lineup. Ferrari will need to ensure that both drivers are on the same page and working together, or the internal tension could affect their performance on track. With all the talk surrounding Ferrari's driver lineup and their future plans, it's clear that there's a lot of pressure on Carlos Sainz this season. The Spanish driver has been in a tricky spot, having made it clear that he wants to sort out his future before the 2024 season gets fully underway. But with no clear commitment from Ferrari about a long-term deal, he's had to focus solely on his performance in 2024, knowing that it could be his final year with the team. Sainz has already stated that he won't be as involved in the development of the car, which could create some tension within the team. This could be an issue, especially if Ferrari is fighting for podiums or even wins. If the team has to make important decisions during the season about car development, it might feel like a disadvantage to have one driver less engaged in the process. And this dynamic is something Ferrari will need to manage carefully, particularly with Leclerc and the inevitable pressure he'll face from a driver like Lewis Hamilton in 2025. Speaking of Hamilton, Ferrari's move to secure a top driver like him for 2025 shows the team's ambitions. The seven-time world champion could bring a wealth of experience to the team, but it also means that Leclerc will face even more pressure to deliver results. Ferrari's strategy in the coming years seems to be centered around developing the car around Leclerc, but with Hamilton coming in, it will be interesting to see how the team adapts to the shifting priorities. As Ferrari moves into 2024 and beyond, their development strategy will play a crucial role in determining whether they can finally challenge Red Bull at the front. With the changes in their driver lineup and the pressure to improve their car, Ferrari will have to walk a fine line. Their focus on car development has been clear, but it's not just about building a faster car, it's about making sure it's built for the future. For Leclerc, the upcoming seasons will be a test of his ability to adapt and rise to the occasion. In 2025, with Hamilton alongside him, he will face an entirely new level of competition. Hamilton's experience and relentless drive for an 8th title will create a unique dynamic within Ferrari. It's one thing to be the leader of the team, but it's another to have someone like Hamilton pushing you every step of the way. The pressure on Leclerc will be immense, and Ferrari will need to balance their development to ensure they're not just improving the car, but also keeping their top drivers motivated and competitive. With the 2024 season already showing promising signs, the hope is that Ferrari will be in a position to fight not just for podiums, but for wins, something that has eluded them in recent years. Looking ahead, Ferrari's ability to challenge Red Bull for wins in 2024 depends on their continued development and consistency. The team has made significant strides with the SF24, and the car's tire management issues seem to be addressed, which is a huge plus. But as always in Formula One, the competition never rests. Red Bull, with Max Verstappen at the wheel, remains the team to beat, and they're in a league of their own when it comes to car performance and consistency. Ferrari's biggest challenge will be proving that they can go toe-to-toe with Verstappen throughout a whole race weekend, not just in qualifying but across the full race distance. Leclerc has the speed and skill, but can he maintain that level under the intense pressure of battling Red Bull for an entire season? And how will the team manage the internal dynamics with Sainz's uncertain future and the arrival of Hamilton in 2025? These are questions that Ferrari will need to answer if they want to challenge for the title. For now, the focus is on 2024. Ferrari's car is looking stronger, and their driver lineup, though uncertain beyond this year, is capable of delivering results. The team has taken steps in the right direction, but the real test will come once the season begins. Can Ferrari maintain their momentum, and will they be able to consistently challenge the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes for the top spots? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure: Ferrari fans have a lot to look forward to.